Welcome to Music History Monday for July 22nd, 2024. I'm Bob Greenberg, and the title for this podcast is Shake, Rattle, and Roll. If you haven't already, please consider joining me on my subscription site at patreon.com/RobertGreenbergMusic, where I blog, vlog, podcast, pontificate, review, and bloviate 4 to 6 times a week. On July 22nd, 2023, 1 year ago today, Taylor Swift, born 1989, she has, according to Forbes, a present net worth of $1.3 billion, literally shook up Seattle. Her concerts in that city shook the ground with such violence that it registered as a magnitude 2.3 earthquake. Yes, as if to prove that the Swiftquake at her first show was no fluke, her second show in Seattle also registered a 2.3 on the Richter Scale. Talk about shake, rattle, and roll. A necessary acknowledgement before kicking things off. As entertainers go, there is no one on the planet who is presently more overexposed than Taylor Swift. No one, I mean not even Englebert Humperdinck, born Arnold George Dorsey, 1936, in his prime, heaven bless him. Yet here I am, seemingly jumping on the Swifty bandwagon, speaking about she who does not need to be spoken of ever again. My reason for doing this, well, has nothing to do with Taylor Swift herself, but rather the nature of the geology on which my house, neighborhood, city, and region of Northern California rests. Earthquake country. I live in what is euphemistically called earthquake country, at the edge of where the North American tectonic plate borders the Pacific plate. These huge plates are moving at approximately the speed of a growing fingernail in opposite directions. The Pacific plate is moving north. The North American plate is moving south. The immediate area where the plates meet is called the fault zone or the fracture zone because the bedrock adjacent to the plates is filled with faults, fractures, where the rock has given way due to the movement of the plates against each other. Like them or not, and I would hazard to guess that most people and animals do not like them, earthquakes are an almost everyday occurrence up and down the Pacific coast. So like it or not, most folks who live on the fault lines, especially homeowners who have to bolt their homes to the ground using technologies unknown outside of earthquake country, whose families keep survival supplies and have emergency plans in case of a big one, know more about earthquakes and fault lines than they'd like to. As the crow flies, I live roughly 17 miles from the San Andreas Fault and a quarter mile from the Hayward Fault, the two most active fault lines in the San Francisco Bay Area. Is that scary? Hey, life is scary, and in fact, there's no real safety anywhere. As such, I'll take our panoramic views, climate, and way of life and worry about earthquakes if and when they come. For your information, I rode out the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake in a house in San Francisco that partially fell down around me. So I'm not being flippant or dismissive regarding our temblors. If it's something you worry about on a daily basis, you just shouldn't live here. And yes, the word is temblor and not trembler. Seattle. The city of Seattle sits atop the Cascadia subduction zone, where 3 relatively small tectonic plates, the Explorer,
the Juan de Fuca and the Gorda plates, are actually sliding under the much larger North American plate. Does that sound dangerous? Oh, you betcha. What this means is that people in Seattle have roughly the same sense of humor about fault lines and earthquakes as we do in the Bay Area, which means little to no sense of humor at all. Okay, we set the scene. The date was July 22nd, 2023, a year ago today. Taylor Swift was 4 months into her so-called Eras Tour, a 52-date national tour that featured songs spanning what was, up to then, her entire 10-album recording career. All 52 dates were sold out, and tickets had been selling on Vivid Seats, a second-hand ticket broker, for upwards of $20,000 apiece. 70,000 plus Swifties were packed into Lumen Field in downtown Seattle, which has a capacity of 68,740 for professional football games, that would be the Seattle Seahawks, and 37,722 for professional soccer matches, that would be for the Seattle Sounders FC. Ms. Swift performed 45 songs that night. According to the set list I found online, the song Shake It Off was the 34th song she performed. Swift wrote the music and the lyrics. As we might expect, Emily Dickinson's reputation as the great American woman poet is in no way endangered by the doggerel of Ms. Taylor Swift's lyrics. Here's a small bit of Swift's lyric for Shake It Off. The player's gonna play, 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 and the hater's gonna hate, 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 hate. Baby, I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. I shake it off, hoo, hoo, hoo. Heartbreaker's gonna break, 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 break. And the faker's gonna fake, 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 fake. Baby, I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. I shake it off, hoo, hoo, hoo. When, during her performance, Swift began singing and shaking and stomping to the words, Baby, I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. I shake it off, hoo, hoo, hoo. Well, so began singing and shaking and stomping the 70,000 plus Swiftomaniacs in the stands. And that's when seismometers around Seattle began to go off, climbing to 2.3 on the Richter scale and staying there for pretty much the remainder of the concert. Now, granted, seismometers can pick up ground vibrations of all types, including from cars, buses, trucks, trains, even high winds. But the magnitude of the Swiftquake was comparable to a freaking earthquake, which was how the shaking was perceived in the area around the stadium. In Seattle, that unwelcome shaking immediately drew comparisons to what is known in that city as the Beastquake of 2011. That's when the Seattle Seahawk running back, Marshawn Lynch, nicknamed Beast, scored a last-minute touchdown to win a game. Such was the cheering and stomping and hooting and hollering from the football fans that local seismometers nearly registered a 2.0 on the Richter scale. But, in fact, the difference between a 2.0, Marshawn Lynch, and a 2.3, Taylor Swift, on the Richter scale is massive, a full two-fold difference. We further observe that the shaking at the two Taylor Swift concerts was sustained throughout the final third of each concert, whereas the shaking quickly subsided at the football game. We don't need no stinking earthquakes. I would respectfully request that Taylor Swift and her fans stay away from the stadium venues here in the Bay Area, the Oakland Coliseum, Oracle Park in San Francisco, and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. We experience more than our fair share of ground shaking as it is, and do not need or want any such temblors created by dancing, frothing, overexcited, teeny Taylor boppers and their ilk. Thank you very much. Okay then.
To sample and download one or all of my many courses on subjects musical produced by the Great Courses / The Teaching Company, please visit my website at robertgreenbergmusic.com.